Hey up, me old mucker, your pal Mark from the GamebustersUK squad. In this video, we'll be taking on Seto Kaiba. His third video of my little spate of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses content for the PlayStation 2. Ah yes, don't you just love Kaiba? Pain in the arse. Yep, he's so special, he gets his own theme. And hey, luck be a lady. We have Needleworm and Cocoon of Evolution in our hand to begin with. You know what that means. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth is on the cards. You'd think it would all be over for Kaiba Boy, yes? I mean, in the previous two videos I managed to get Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth out. And it spelt the end for our opponents, Weevil Underwood and My Valentine. But this is Kaiba. This is Kaiba. This is Kaiba! And he's a bit different from other opponents, isn't he? He's a cheap ass for one thing. And see, what I wanted to do at this point is reach that little square, which is kind of diagonal from where his deck leader is, in between those two pieces of labyrinth terrain, because what that means is then I could try and summon monsters close to him. Maybe he moves out of that square, which would be advantageous for you know. So yeah, he had a bloody Kaiser Dragon. Yep. He only had a bloody Kaiser Dragon, didn't he? All hail Das Kaiser. Yeah. I don't think... You know, it's not the most scary looking dragon, is it? But I don't think a giant flea is going to have much luck against the dragon any day of the week. So yeah. He gets peppered with 2, 3, 4, 5 fireballs. That's one way to get rid of a pesky flea, I suppose. Not that I'm too happy about that. You know what that looks like? He looks like a tapeworm. I've just realised he looks like a... That's disgusting. He looks like a tapeworm dragon. That's disgusting. Imagine that. Imagine if that was a thing. You thought having a tapeworm was bad. Imagine if you had a tapeworm dragon just gnawing in your intestines. And with that lovely image, let's carry on with the match. So I've reached that spot, but it's not doing me any favours at this stage in the game at all. So there's not much I can do really. I mean, it's times like this that I wish I had a Labyrinth tank. But all the monsters that can actually go on Labyrinth are really difficult to actually obtain. Funnily enough, Weevil Underwood actually has Dungeon Worm, which can actually go on Labyrinth, but you can't win it off him. You can't win Wall Shadow. I'm unsure if you can win. I'm unsure if you can win Shadow Ghoul, which turns into Wall Shadow when it goes on Labyrinth. Or if that's actually the only way to get Wall Shadow. I'm not sure. There you go, I got Pupa of Moth. One more turn and I'll get Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. It's just a question of Am I going to take a hit from Kaiser Dragon? And I did the smart thing here. I moved my deck leader. I mean, it could prove... I mean, it will go on to prove sort of something bad was going to happen either way. And unfortunately, this is the first time that I have ever had this happen to me. The pupa of Moth was actually destroyed. That's the first time that's ever happened. So what we get instead is, instead of perfectly ultimate Great Moth, we get Great Moth, which has 2600 attack and I believe 2000 defense. The good news is though, 2500 defense. The good news is though, his effect is still the same. When he's face up in defense position, all enemy monsters are reduced by 100 points per turn. The only downside to regular Great Moth is he's just not as strong as perfectly ultimate Great Moth. But nevertheless, with a little bit of home improvement, as we'll no doubt see in a minute. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing there. For some reason I put Garvis right in front of Kaiser Dragon. Yeah, with a little bit, as I was saying, with a little bit of home improvement, it's not a big deal. You know, now he's got 3,600. But like I said, it's the first time that I've actually managed to get regular Great Moth onto the field. I've never seen him in this game. It's the first time for everything. But no, I'm quite happy that, you know, things could have been a lot worse. So I lose 300 life points because of Garvis. I'm not sure if that was a necessary move. I think I could have avoided losing those life points, but I'm not 100% sure. That's the thing about doing commentary after you've recorded the video in games like this, is I'm a little bit unsure what my motives were here, but I think it's clear now. I moved Great Moth in front of the opposing enemy cards to see if, you know, because the enemy just wants to know what you have on the field. So normally they will attack, but he didn't attack there, and neither did his Kaiser Dragon. So you know, he's a lot more focused on trying to get my deck leader. And I can't really blame him for that, because it's the quickest way to win the game. But see, what I've done there is pretty basic. And now he has to attack Great Moth if he wants to get anywhere closer to my deck leader. I will give, if you're going to use a deck build like this, there's a word of caution. If you're going to include the Javelin Beetle Pact, I'll discuss it afterwards actually, because we're going to be able to see Great Moth in you know, in battle mode, in 3D animation. As he's not as big as perfectly ultimate Great Moth, not as colourful either. He's mainly green and orange. But here we go, this tapeworm dragon type thing is going to hit our Great Moth with 5 fireballs. And Great Moth's like, you know, what's that? What's that, man? And takes flight. That's very good, that. And buffets him with, well, I suppose it must be pollen or some sort of moth dust. And obviously it's too much for the dragon to handle. And he bites the dust. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that's Great Moth. I mean, the great thing about you know, using the Lava Moth and the Cocoon Evolution is, You know, as long as you get past the Lava of Moth stage, you're guaranteed a powerful monster. Because Great Moth is, you know, a strong monster in its own right. It can best most other cards. And with the 2 power-ups, you know, I mean, ain't nothing gonna stop me now. I mean, Kaiba is gonna have to really hope for a miracle, which he can get. Him and Yugi have been known to receive destiny draws. I don't think I've ever received a destiny draw myself. I might have received one once, a long time ago. But if I have received a destiny draw, I've only received one once. I don't know whether that means I'm a good player or the computer just doesn't want to give me one or what. I don't know. But I've noticed that Kaiba and Yugi, if you have them on the back foot, they will receive a destiny draw. Normally it's Blue Eyes White Dragon for Kaiba, and for Yugi it's Dark Magician. I think Yugi's received Blackluster Soldier once from a destiny draw. But that's another feature of this game, you know. But yeah, we're doing alright. We're 1,000 life points ahead of Kaiba. Still got the other man-eater bug on the field. That's always handy. We got resources to fall back upon if he does manage to get rid of Great Moth. We got the Javelin Beetle pact there. Back to my point I was going to make. The Javelin Beetle pact. Be careful with that. Be careful when using that. With this deck, I like to see Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth as my main go-to, and Javelin Beetle is the secondary powerful monster. You know, if Great Moth gets destroyed, then I'll think about getting Javelin Beetle out. I forgot to leave the animations off, so you get to see Judge Man take down Man-Eater Bug. Yeah. But the thing is, with Javelin Beetle Pact, is it requires Hercules Beetle and 2 other insect cards. And this has actually happened to me once, is I put it down and it actually used Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth for one of the sacrifices. So I ended up losing my Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth in order to summon Javelin Beetle. So just be aware, if you have... Because I think they're chosen at random, the sacrifices. As long as you have 2 insects, 2 or more insect cards on the field, the computer will just pick one of them, 2 of them to use as a sacrifice for Javelin Beetle. So if you've got Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth on the field, my advice is do not even think about trying to summon Javelin Beetle. Just leave it. You know, just don't bother. Because there's a chance that even if you have 5 monsters on the field, which is the limit, and they're all of them are insects, there is still a chance that the computer might just be a dick and randomly choose Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Like I said, I've only had it happen to me once, and it is avoidable. As a player, you can totally avoid that happening. Here, what I was doing was moving Man-Eater Bug closer to Judge Man, so hopefully we can get rid of Judge Man in the next turn or 2. And you know, really, there wasn't really much else for me to play from my hand. I mean, I got not a bad hand, but what I have on the field is more than enough to get through the match. I mean, he's got cards coming from all angles, but I'm not too bothered because they're face down. I don't know what they are. So, you know, the good thing about the Great Moth's power decrease is it reveals to you what cards are actually monsters. If the card doesn't receive a power decrease, then, you know, obviously it's a magic or a trap card, so you can kind of plan around it, which is a very handy strategy and another plus to this deck build. You know, I've said it before, this deck is very, very good for such a low. I mean, I don't think you find a lower deck cost. You get a lot of bang for your buck in this deck, I'll put it that way. And it is a very good deck build. Yeah, So he's got 3 monsters on the field. So those 2 monsters nearest deck leader, these 2 cards nearest deck leader, must be, you know, traps or spells. You know, that has been revealed to me by Great Moth's special effect. So, you know, that card that I got rid of earlier turned out to be a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, I'll take getting rid of Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragons any day of the week. And the preview starts live. So, there we go, my sound's come back. Lovely. So I'm moving Grey Moth nearer to his Judgman, and you know his Judgman's spellbound for one more turn. But basically, he is life points for the taking, and I'm not sure. Will that do it for me? Oh yeah, I think it will. I got unlucky there. I think I may have had the opportunity to put Hercules Beetle in defense position, which would have saved him, and it would have cost Kaiba a few life points as well. But you know, what can you say? There we go. Great Moth versus Judgman, 1,700 life points. So you know that brings him down to 1,000. So this match is, you know, it's in the bag. It's in the bag. Basically what this was just a luring tactic. Put Lava Moth down, and because it's so weak and it's face up, the opponent can see what it is, and the AI is so dumb, he's going to take the bait, and he's going to attack Lava Moth, and he is now next to Great Moth, which means it's game, set and match, Kaiba boy. Kaiba boy. So, you know, that's another tactic you can use. Lure the AI. Because the AI is there for the luring. And there we go. Another win in the bag. And the final video is coming up after this one. We have Yugimoto to fight. Just see what we win off Kaiba. You can't win his Blue Eyes White Dragon. Win Kaiser Dragon though, that's not too bad. Couple of Fate Trap. Wonderful stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching me, old mucker. This has been an entertaining video to commentate over. It was nice to play as well. It was nice to see, you know, what was going on. And I'll see you in the next video where we take on Yugi.